visit to India. Now, the big story that we've been tracking, 4 days into the crisis at IndiGo Airlines and the government has buckled. The crew rostering norms, which mandated fewer allowable night duties and longer mandatory rest periods, have now been put in abeyance. In a statement, the Civil Aviation Minister said the government has also announced an inquiry into the disruption at IndiGo. IndiGo CEO Pieter Elbers said that over 1,000 flights were cancelled today. He added that he expected less than 1,000 flights to be cancelled tomorrow and a return to normalcy by the 15th of December. However, he was silent on what has caused a disruption of such massive proportion. Earlier, the airline had told the government that the new rostering rules had led to a shortage in the availability of pilots. However, pilots' associations have attributed the crisis to IndiGo's arm-twisting tactics. They claim that IndiGo's prolonged, unorthodox, lean manpower strategy, in their words, is the reason behind the current flight disruptions. Several passengers were left stranded at airports across India without access to food or water. Many took to social media to share their ordeal. A newlywed couple on your screens were forced to attend their own reception in Hubli online after their flight from Bhubaneswar to Bengaluru was cancelled. Namita, who was scheduled to travel to Haridwar for the immersion ceremony of her late father, was stranded at the Bengaluru airport. Here's a brief account of what has been a nightmare for passengers across India.
सुबह से खड़े हैं, ये बोल रहे हैं कि 2,500 बैगेज मिसप्लेस।
Trying to contact even the customer care, but no one is lifting the phone.
कस्टमर सर्विस क्या होता है? कस्टमर तो यू है कस्टमर सर्विस।
हमारे पीछे वाले फ्लाइट चले गए और हम लोग इधर ही है अभी तक।
Call center is not picking up the call. I'm putting my PNR. It's saying non-existent.
What is the half of the flight is not has been reached.
हमको नहीं पता था हमारी फ्लाइट कैंसिल नहीं है, हम अपने घर से आए।
1 बजे डिपार्चर था हमारा, लेकिन वो भी कैंसिल हो गया।
यहाँ पे 3 दिन वेटिंग कर रहे हैं हम।
जैसा यहाँ हमने लैंड किया, उसने बता दिया कि आपका फ्लाइट कैंसिल है।
Immediate concern is to provide all the support to the passengers at the airports, especially, like I mentioned, the senior citizens and the differently abled. That is the immediate one. But we are observing deeply into this system. We are seeing the scheduling network that is there. We are seeing the FTTL norms that are there. We are going to thoroughly look into it and ensure all the airlines follow the due diligence, because ultimately in aviation, no matter other networks, but aviation, we have to keep safety as a very important factor. We can't compromise on safety. That is the most important thing.
I, on behalf of all of us at IndiGo, would like to extend our sincerest apologies for the major inconvenience this has caused to many of our customers. With these actions, we expect tomorrow to have cancellations below 1,000. The support of DGCA in providing specific FDTL implementation relief is of great help. Still, there's lots of work in progress, but going forward from here, in alignment with the Ministry of Civil Aviation and DGCA, we do expect to further improve every day. Given the size, scale and complexity of our operation, it will take some time to return to a full normal situation, which we do anticipate between the 10th and the 15th of December.
Well, expect stability to return by the 15th of December. That's Pieter Elbers, the CEO of IndiGo, but not commenting on what led to that debacle of epic proportions. Madiha Mujawar joins us now from the Delhi airport. Madiha, what is the situation on the ground? Finally, the government has been forced to put the FDTL norms in abeyance. IndiGo CEO saying that things will return to some degree of normalcy by the 15th of December. Is there any let-up on the ground at this point?
Not really, Shireen. Scenes at the Terminal 1 of the Delhi airport are something that you don't get to see very often. And it also shows that how certain decisions by one airline can disrupt hundreds of lives. And what you see behind me are all affected passengers who came here at the airport for a normal journey and got to know that their flights have been cancelled. They are now sitting helpless, clueless, waiting for answers. They are looking they are asking anyone that they are finding here. They are looking for IndiGo staff, security officials, anybody, to help them understand what's happening with their flights. Several passengers impacted here. Some are elderly, there are babies, there are couples who are waiting, and you can see the queue inside. Everybody is now waiting for answers. What has happened to their flight? When will be their next flight? And there are no answers. There is no certainty. We'll take you to some passengers who are sitting here since morning and have no idea what has happened to their flight. आप कब से वेट कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर?
हम सुबह 11 बजे से कर रहे हैं. 11 बजे इधर आए हैं. हमारा 2 बजे फ्लाइट था. तो वो कैंसिल हुआ है ये सुबह पर पता चला हमें. सुबह 8 साढ़े 8 बजे पता चला. तो ऐसा कैसे, मतलब 2-3 दिन पहले पता चल जाता तो हम कुछ कर सकते थे. अभी डायरेक्ट पता चला है तो कैसे क्या करने का. हम इधर क्यू में लग गए रीशेड्यूलिंग और कैंसिलेशन करने के लिए. तो इधर 5-6 घंटे लग गए हमें रीशेड्यूलिंग करने को, ये करने को. गवर्नमेंट का कुछ भी कंट्रोल नहीं है इसके ऊपर.
We'll speak to more passengers here who are all impacted. You can see everyone is sitting here. They are waiting for answers from the IndiGo staff. They don't know when their next flight is. आप कब से वेट कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर?
मैं मैम कल का वेट कर रहा हूँ.
कल से वेट कर रहे हैं. कहाँ जा रहे थे आप?
मुंबई से दिल्ली, दिल्ली से मुंबई, मुंबई से दुबई.
आप कहाँ जा रहे थे और आपकी फ्लाइट कहाँ?
I was traveling from Delhi to Bangalore and the flight got delayed by 20 hours approximately. And now when we are trying to reschedule the flight, that is on Monday supposedly, that is what they said. There's no confirmation that they will be giving us a confirmation on the tickets or on the flight will. So apparently passengers are waiting since night. I actually came yesterday as well, and the worst part is there was no communication from the airline. That is the worst part. So it was a terrible experience.
So as you can see, there are hundreds of passengers here impacted and waiting for answers. IndiGo, of course, is assuring after the government's decision as well that the operations will come back to normal. But looking at the scale of the impact, it doesn't look like the situation is going to normalize anytime soon. It will take probably some weeks for operations to normalize. Back to you, Shireen.
Many thanks for joining us, Madiha, from the Delhi airport. Shivani joins us now as well. Shivani, what was the DGCA statement which had initially announced a relaxation only for IndiGo, but then a few hours later, the Civil Aviation Minister saying that now the FDTL norms for the entire sector will be held in abeyance?
Well, yes, it's been a dramatic day for Indian aviation. Early this afternoon, the DGCA issued an emergency notification granting IndiGo exclusive relaxations from the key FDTL fatigue management rules. This included easing the night duty definition, allowing more weekly night landings and permitting substitutions against weekly rest, all aimed at helping the airline stabilize its network after days of disruption. But within just 2 to 3 hours, there was a complete turnaround. The Ministry of Civil Aviation stepped in with a fresh order putting all revised FDTL norms in abeyance, not just for IndiGo, but effectively across airlines. The ministry said this pause was essential to ensure passenger convenience and restore normalcy as cancellation surged and congestion worsened at major Indian airports. This rapid shift raises important questions. If the DGCA believed safety-driven FDTL rules could be relaxed only for IndiGo, what changed so quickly that the entire framework was suspended industry-wide? And crucially, what does it mean for pilots, for fatigue and safety, when rules meant to protect both have been paused on such short notice. What is clear is India's fatigue management rulebook has now been put on hold to tackle an immediate crisis. How long this pause continues and what conditions airlines must meet before the rules return, we'll have to wait and watch for that. Back to you.
Yes, lots of unanswered questions there, Shivani. Many thanks for joining us. Up next on IndiGo.